Welcome to Yoga with Carolyn. I'm super excited as always to be with you today. We are going to work on Perching Pigeon. What is Perching Pigeon? Well, stick around and find out. It's a pretty big arm balance. It takes our hips to be open and it takes some ankle mobility, which we may not have today. So we're going to work on those things before we get into it. As always, if you'd like to just do the poses and leave the final one behind, that is totally okay with me. So let's work down first off through our sit bones, and let's start to lengthen, sit up tall, drop those shoulders down our backs. And just notice, how are we feeling today? Are we feeling great? Alive, happy? Lots of different things, right? How's my back feel? My hips? Are my hips open? Are my knees already sitting on the floor? With that, let's start to sweep our arms up. Inhale, exhale, release our right hand. Let's reach over and out with that left. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, reach deeper. Inhale, back up. Exhale, release our left, reach over and out with our right. Pause here. Let's breathe in again, lengthen. Exhale, come deeper. And then inhale, let's come all the way up. We're going to stretch our wrists just a little bit, forearms. We got a lot of work on our hands today. Lengthen, lifting up. Exhale, let's release. Let's come onto our hands and knees. We're going to start by rooting down through our fingertips. Draw that core up and in. And let's inhale, lengthen. Finding our cow. Exhale, rounding, finding our cat. Really pay attention. Draw that navel up and in. Separate the shoulders. Inhale as we lengthen here. Exhale as we round. So we're going to do these two actions at the same time today. We're going to lengthen from the sternum. And we're going to draw up through our belly. One more time. And then find that flat spine right here. We're going to start to curl under our toes and make our way into our down dog. Let's bend our right knee, take our left heel. And again, we need the ankle mobility. So more than the calves or the thought of the calves, think of the ankles. Mine are cracking today. How are yours? And then we're going to come back into a kneeling plank right here. So now we're going to uncurl our toes, shoulders over our fingertips, chaturanga. So we're going to keep those elbows in, heart comes down, press back up. One more, just like this. Press back up. Now I'm going to walk my knees together, and I'm going to extend my right toes out behind me. Lengthen, come down, push back up. One more time. So again, I'm lengthening, come down, push back up, release. So lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Draw that belly up and in. Left leg reaches back. Now I want you to notice, do you open out to the side? If you're tight in your glutes, you might find your hip opening. I want you to see if you can get this inside edge of the inner thigh to stay, and that part is actually reaching up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Chaturanga. One more. Nice strong leg back there. And release. Now, before we get too much further in, let's stretch our wrists out. We're going to start out, I'm just going to turn sideways a little bit. Fingertips pointing down towards each other, press down through the palms. Let's rotate. Fingertips away. And I like to rotate then my forearms back in, get a big stretch. Oh yeah. Very nice. Now the very best, the biggest stretch of them all, we're going to turn our fingertips to point towards our knees. Now I've walked my hands in a little bit, and I'm going to curl under my toes and sink back onto my heels. Oh, so nice. Maybe that's too much, I just stay up. I do want my palms to stay on the ground. Very, very nice. Oh, let's flip it back. Now make our way into that kneeling plank again. And we're going to curl under our toes, send our hips back. We're going to step our left foot in between our hands, and let's come down onto our left knee. We're looking for a big stretch into that right hip. We're going to lengthen, lift up. Now activate our core. Make sure we're not dropping in our lower back or dumping. We're going to lengthen through the front. The sternum is going to lift and be bright. Now I can stay right here or start to curl under our toes. Lift, reach back through our heel. Keep that sternum going forward. Core lifted. I'm just looking for that big stretch in that right hip. Oh, let's take our left hand back on the outside of the left foot. Step our hip, or left foot back. Now let's just, again, work on our ankle mobility. Come up onto our tippy toes. Drop back. Maybe we do one leg at a time. Just really warming them up, getting the blood flowing, getting the awareness to them. And then come back to a down dog. Let's step our right foot in between our hands. Again, we're going to start out with that left knee on the floor. Sternum, heart, lengthen. Core lifted, so I'm not dumping into my lower back. Now I have walked my right hand on the inside of my right foot. I could have left it on the outside. Perfectly okay. Now, let's go ahead and start to curl under our left toes, and if it's there, lift that left leg. Now my left glute should be firing. My left heel is pushing back. The crown of my head is reaching up. One more big breath right here. And let's take that right foot back. Again, drop back into our heels, lift up on our toes. Bend one knee, take the opposite knee to the ground. Knee to the ground. Heel to the ground. And then we're going to look in between our hands. Step our left foot forward. Our right foot to knee. Now I'm going to soften my knees. I'm going to hang out here in a soft bend forward fold. Just noticing how my body feels. I'm reaching the floor. Now with my feet pushing down, I'm going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Stack, stack, stack. Arms are hanging. Core is engaging. Coming all the way up. How are we doing? So again, my feet are no wider than my hips, or they're as wide as my hips, I guess I should say. Let's take those arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, sink back into our chair. Inhale, rising. Exhale, sink back. Now I'm going to engage my glutes. My core is wrapping around. Arms are by my ears. Come back up. Now we're going to sink back into our chair, our deepest chair that we can find. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart, and I'm going to come up on my right toes. Lift the right heel, left heel. Again, ankles, that mobility, the strength, the awareness. Last time, right? Left, my core is still wrapping in. Inhale, let's rise. Exhale, release. How do we do? Okay. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sink back. Find that chair again. My deepest, biggest chair. Now my hands can stay out. Hands can come to the heart. We're going to come up onto both toes and lower. Lots of strength and awareness. Tippy toes. Lower one more time. Come up, hold, hold, hold. Now can we drop our hips and come into a toe stand? Oh, yes. Now let's go ahead and plant our hands. We're going to straighten our legs, drop the heels. I can keep my knees soft if I'd like to. Find that forward fold. Now if our knees are straight, or if our legs are straight, go ahead and soften, tuck, or start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. We draw that navel up and in. Beautiful, standing tall. How do we do? Awesome. So from here, I'm going to turn sideways. You're going to stay exactly where you are. I just kind of want you to see. I'm going to take this angle. So we're going to sit back into that chair. Take those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, sink back. Now I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. Shift our weight into our right leg. Flex, flex, flex that left foot. Sink back, sink back, sink back. Balance, balance. Again, my core is wrapping around. It's not pulling in. It's wrapping around. And I'm going to stay long and bright in my heart. One more breath. Flex, flex, flex in that left foot. And slowly release. Come all the way up. Big breath. Take those arms above our head. Inhale. Exhale, sink back. Find that chair. Shift our weight into our left leg. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. I'm going to flex my right foot. Flex, flex, flex. Sink back, sink back, sink back. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Core wrapping around. Oh, very nice. Notice all the work in that left standing leg. That right foot is flexed. I'm building a shelf. And then slowly release. Come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the front edge of our mats. Inhale. Exhale as we fold. We're going to find our way into our down dog. So step that right foot and then the left foot. And then shift back. Now I want us just to raise our right toes up. And I want you, not so much how high, but can we keep our hips square? And can we keep this thigh rolling or internally rotating? So we're not opening out to that side. We're really keeping our legs strong. So think about that inner thigh. Lift, lift, lift. And then lower, lower, gently, slowly. Those right toes back down. Oh yeah, slow, slow. Now let's shift our weight into our right leg. Left leg extends. Again, don't let that knee roll open and out to the side. It's pointed towards the ground. And slowly lowering back down. Very nice. Come down onto our hands and our knees. Just pause for a moment. Take a deep breath in. How are we doing? Awesome. Now we're going to add on. We're staying with that. Come back to our down dog. So feet together. We're going to inhale, extend our right heel. Think heel. And again, I'm making sure my toes stay down, my knees stays down. We're going to come forward into a high plank. My foot does lower, but it doesn't touch. Take it back up. Down dog. Come forward. Oh, is that leg? Do you feel your leg working? Take it up. And let the right foot flip to the mat. Let's extend our left leg. Reach back through the heel. And again, we're not opening. We're making sure that those toes and knees point towards the ground. Inhale, come forward into that high plank. Hold. Feel all those muscles. Feel that lengthening. And then take it back up. Again, toes point towards the ground. Check in. Come forward, high plank. Hold. So I'm almost taking that inner thigh and I'm rolling it up so that it doesn't roll out. Oh, come back to our down dog. And release that left foot to the floor. Come down onto our hands and knees. And we're coming to seated. Inner seated. We're going to extend both of our legs. And let's flex that left foot. Cross it over our right knee. And start to bring our hips together. Hips and heels. Now again, I'm going to be lengthened and bright in the front of my body. I'm going to wrap my core around, supporting me. Now maybe I hang out here. Or maybe I take my left hand, thread it in, lengthen again, draw that belly in, lean back slightly. Very nice. Perching pigeon right here, ladies and gentlemen. And slowly release. Extend that right leg. Extend the left, cross that right ankle on the left knee. Flex, flex, flex. Start to bring in. I'm going to take my hands behind me to begin with. I'm going to lengthen through the front of the body, bring bright. Take that right hand, thread it in. Left hand around. I'm going to balance on my sit bones, lengthen through the front, stay bright in the front of the body. Feel that stretch, feel our balance. And slowly release. We have one more before we get into it. This will help us get there, hopefully. Okay, we're going to lay down for this one. I don't lay down very often, but we're going to lay down. Now, we're going to start out, we can start out with the knees bent. And we're going to think about lengthening the front, engaging the lower. We're going to bring our, I'm going to start with my right side this time again. I'm going to take it cradling my baby. So, right hand to the knee, left hand to the foot. I'm going to flex this right foot, protect the knee. Now I'm going to extend my left leg, and I'm going to flex my left foot, reach out, and I'm going to draw this right leg in as close as I can. Again, lengthening through the front from the heart, up, engaging my core, reach long through that left. So heart going up, towards up, lengthen, heel, left heel going out, right leg drawing in, foot is flexed, breathe. And slowly release. Let's place the right foot to the floor first as we draw that left leg in. Again, left hand to the knee, right hand to the foot, flex, flex, flex. Maybe I start to wrap more. We're going to extend that right leg out. Oh, this is my tighter side, clearly. That right leg doesn't want to go out. So we're going to lengthen, draw in, lengthen, reach out. Flex the right foot, reach, reach, reach. Lengthen, make sure we're staying long. bright and lifted in the upper body. Core wrapping around us. It's easy to release right here, but we don't want it. Flex, flex, flex that left foot. This allows us to turn perching pigeon into flying, but today we're just going to work on the perching part. One more big breath. And bring both knees into the chest. We're going to rock all the way up to seated. Make our way onto our hands and knees. Find our way into our high plank. Pause here. Exhale, find our down dog. Now I'm going to walk my hands back to meet my feet. That way that gives me all that room in front of me. Let's soften our knees and we're going to draw up one vertebrae at a time. So slow. Keep continuing to wrap that core around and stand up nice and tall. Drop the shoulders. Okay, are you ready for perching pigeon? I think you are. So two things. Core, we're going to lift up and we're going to lengthen. If I don't lengthen, I'm probably not going to get anywhere. Now, a lot of people say, but it hurts my triceps. Know that the closer you are to the elbow, there is more nerve endings. So if you can get that foot higher up, the better it's going to be. But we're going to just flow for a minute, do a few things before we actually touch the ground. So take those arms up, inhale. Exhale, sink back, find our chair. I start to bring my hands to my heart. We're going to shift our way into our right leg, flex that left foot. Now I'm going to keep long, but then I'm going to start to draw my belly in just slightly. And I'm going to bend, 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 bend. I'm going to reach for the floor, still keeping my heart bright, going forward, and then come back up. Release. I'm going to shift our weight into that left, or coming into our chair. Inhale, exhale, sink back. This time shift our weight into our left leg, cross that right, flex the right foot. Staying long, hands to the heart. I'm going to reach, 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 touch the ground. Oh yeah. Come back up. And slowly release. It is hard to talk and do this. So I talk fast. You don't have to move fast. That way I can get into the pose and show you. Take those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, sink back. Shift our weight into our right leg. Maybe sink deeper. Left ankle over that right knee. Flex, flex, flex. Draw that belly up and in. I like to think of a diver. You're kind of reaching out. Reach, reach, reach. I'm going to reach all the way to the floor. Now from here, I'm going to walk my hands out just a little bit. I'm going to come up onto my right tippy toes, bend my right knee, hook my left shin. I'm going to lengthen, lift my core, and my right toes lift. Slowly release, coming back up. But Carolyn, my leg doesn't come off. That's okay. If everything else is working, those toes should float up. It's the hardest concept for me because I'm like, I want to get it up. I wanted to muscle into it. But if everything else is working, that leg will float. I'm going to do the other side. So come back, feet hip distance apart, and not forget, but if it worked on the other side, great. If it didn't work on the other side, great. This is a new side. Let's take those arms up. Exhale, sink back, find our chair. Hands to the heart. Start to flex that right foot. Cross the ankle over the left knee. Again, I'm staying lifted and engaged in the lower belly. I'm going to reach my hands to the floor. Again, I start to walk my fingers out. And this allows me to get some room to hook my elbow, come up onto my left tippy toes, hook. Again, the higher up I hook, the easier it's going to be. Extend that left toes. Very, very nice. Release nice and slow. Coming back up. How do we do? Let's have a seat. So maybe our hips needed more opening. We go back to opening up our hips. Maybe we need more core work. Go to the the three-legged down dog or three-limb down dog to the plank. That'll help us. Maybe we need the balance to begin with. So maybe we sit in chair and just continue to cross the ankles and find that balance. So with that, let's sit up tall, draw those shoulders down our backs, take those arms above our head, and as we exhale, let's draw our hands to our heart center. Thank you all so very much for sharing your yoga practice with me today. The divine light in me honors and acknowledges the divine light in you. Namaste. Remember to like, share, practice with your friends, keep practicing, and have a fabulous day.